And we don't find much mention in either Chaitanya Bhagavat or Chaitanya Mangal. Little is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita for both these acharyas. Very important to know what is their contribution in our parampara and what exemplary service they performed, and they pleased Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and how they have made this movement for us so that we could be benefited even after their departure, after so many years. That is what the parampara is, how the potency flows in parampara. Very, very solid example of both Srila Gopal Bhatt Goswami. Gopal Bhatt Goswami spent 45 years in Vrindavan, mainly assisting Srila Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. And Srila Ramchandra Kaviraj Goswami, he assisted Srila Srinivas Acharya and Narottam Das Thakur. So this is the exemplary contributions, and of course they did preaching in Bengal, mainly in Bengal and in Vrindavan, in Vraj. And they also wrote many, many scriptures, especially Srila Gopal Bhatt Goswami. Gopal Bhatt Goswami is instrumental in writing the fundamental scripture of Hari Bhakti Vilas, which speaks about the rules and regulations for all aspects of devotional practice, devotional service, and devotional regulations. So we'll continue on our discussion on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. We are on the 4th chapter of the 1st canto, which is entitled The Appearance of Sri Narad Muni. And we saw that after being fully answered the first 6 questions by Srila Sūta Goswami, which these sages had raised, after hearing the answers, their eagerness to hear more increased. So this is one definite way of knowing that who is actually hearing. If one hears Krishna Katha, Krishna Katha, if one is hearing, then what is the obvious result? That his thirst to hear or to drink more will expand, if he has actually heard. So we see that Sūta Goswami congratulates, Sonak Rishi actually congratulates Sūta Goswami, and he praises Sūta Goswami, and then he puts another 3 sets of questions. What are the 3 questions? Who remembers? This chapter will flow for that 3 questions. Manoram Prabhu, what are the 3 questions raised in this chapter? Two people are hearing with heart, I can share for sure. One is Sonika and the other is Ramya. Immediately their hands are up. Why you are taking so much time? Please answer. Unmute and speak. You are spaced out. Today the word will come. There is a difference between one who is a devotee and one is not a devotee. Non-devotee, his heart is absorbed in material things. He cannot become a devotee then. Manoram, unmute and speak.
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, there are different sets actually, Prabhuji. In 2-3 verses, there are some enquiries. So, first enquiry was made in the 1.4.3, and there were around 3 questions, Prabhuji, where it was asked that the period and place of where the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam was spoken, and why actually this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam was spoken, and
Okay.
also why the message was taken up from the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And also there was a question that how did Srila Vyasadeva, he has got the inspiration to compile Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam.
Yes, very good. That is first question actually. So he is inquiring, Sut Goswami is inquiring about three aspects. First, he's inquiring about the scripture itself. That how did the inspiration for Vyasadeva came to compile this scripture and where it was done. Second, he is asking about the speaker. So we discussed in the last two verses about the speaker of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Pradeep, who is the speaker of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam? Please, my request is...
Śukadeva Gosvāmī, bro.
Yeah. And what was talked about Śukadeva Gosvāmī? What did we hear about Śukadeva Gosvāmī in the last two verses that we discussed?
He is nirvikalpa.
What does nirvikalpa means?
Absolute.
No. There were four qualities mentioned, four very outstanding qualities mentioned about Srila Śukadeva Gosvāmī. What were they? Anyone remembers the verse? It's a good verse to remember. Tasya putro mahayogi samadrika nirvikalpika ekantmati unnidro budha muda ivayate. So what are these attributes or qualities? Purushottam, aapko dhyan hai? Pradeep, you have to put your absorption. See, we are very few. We are very few people who are going to hear. People will not be able to take Bhagavatam because if they hear Bhagavatam, they'll be liberated from this cycle of material existence. But with this kind of commitment, it will not happen. It is very good that you don't, miss the classes. But if you are present here, be present with full heart. It has to reach the heart. It has not to reach the head. Of course, it will reach our heart through our head. But it has to be more absorption has to be there. Nirvikalpa is absorption. This is where we are lacking. And what was the example given of absorption? Of Parīkṣit Maharaj? Oh, sorry, Śukadeva Goswami. What example was given of Nirvikalpa? Yes, I'm asking you, Pradeep. I'm not going to leave you. I will force you to study. How long you are going to... This is what we have been doing. Life after life, we have been given opportunity, but every time we have kicked it. We have missed it. Speak. What is the example given of Nirvikalpaka? You have to put stain on your head. Just one day back we discussed and it is out. It's out of our head and heart both. It never entered actually. Pradeep?
Not remember.
Not remembered. You remember to eat what? If your wife does not cook, then you will remember that she did not cook the dinner. But what is the quality of Śukadeva Goswami? Don't remember, then how can you hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam? What qualification you have to hear? Dayashil Prabhu, what is the qualification? What is the qualities mentioned? What example was given of Nirvikalpaka? Don't speak, Ramya. Let him speak. So many times I have told you simple things. When you come back from your work, take bath. How many of you are following? It is very cold. It is so cold that if you take bath, you will dissolve in water. So don't take bath. Remain on the rajas and tamoguna. Did you take bath, Pradeep? Why you are taking so much time to answer?
No, Prabhuji.
Why you are smiling? You're fool number one. Then you remain where you are. Then upliftment cannot come. You have to give up your own ideas, your own thoughts. Important because our absorption is where our attachments are. Our absorption is not in spiritual subject matters. So what we have to do, we have to prepare. We have to change. If you don't change, if you don't prepare, it will never come. Okay, Dayashil, I gave you sufficient time. Now answer.
Sorry, Prabhuji, I also don't remember, Prabhuji.
You don't remember.
Okay.
Okay, Sonika, you speak.
Prabhuji, nirvikalpa means without any vikalp, means like without any deviation, he is situated in devotion.
Yeah, he's focused in Krishna. There was another very beautiful adjective used. Anyone remembers the adjective for Śukadeva Gosvāmī? Ekantmatihi, whose mind is always concentrated. Our mati is never ekant. It is vikrit mati. It is vikrit. So, anyway, so these are the transcendental qualities mentioned. What the example was given of nirvikalpaka? Sonika, you remember? You speak, Ravindra Prabhu. What was the example given of nirvikalpaka? Such a prominent example given.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, he is a liberated soul. He is free from condition. Example I exactly don't.
Priyanka?
Prabhuji, he was a liberated person and he is always alert to not trapped by illusionary energy.
Very good. You have gone further. What was the example which was demonstrating that he is exactly nirvikalpaka? Very prominent example. Do we get such example? That means you're not revising Bhagavatam. See, just by hearing is not sufficient. So many times I have shared with you. Just one passive hearing will not make the difference. You have to take that hearing to heart. Then how can you miss that example? Anyone? Yes, Purushottam?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So he is not making any distinction between male and female.
Yes, very good. He walked naked and the ladies bathing there, they were not agitated, and he saw the ladies bathing naked, he was also not agitated. Have you ever heard such example? Such an example, when you are saying we don't remember. Such is the transcendental qualities. This is actually what is liberated. This is what it means to be liberated. Liberated from sex desire, from sex agitation. And you, all of you are saying that you forgot. Is it ordinary? Do we come anywhere near? So he was, in a way, he was outwardly making a statement that he is unconventional person. He is a madman. 16-year-old person walking naked. Who will do that? So the next question was that how did Hastinapur citizen recognize him? How was Parīkṣit Maharaj? You see, if you see someone who is shabbily dressed, not properly dressed, not keeping, in proper cleanliness, he is in rags, beards, and his long hairs, unclean, unshaven, looks like a beggar. Example comes of Srila Sanatana Goswami. When Sanatana Goswami came to meet Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Varanasi, so Mahaprabhu told Chandrasekhar, he was staying in the house of Chandrasekhar, that go, there is a devotee who has come to meet me, bring him in. And when Chandrasekhar went outside, he found no one. He came back and told Mahaprabhu that there is no one. So Mahaprabhu again sent him, no, there is someone who is there. Please bring him in, he is Sanatana Goswami. Mahaprabhu had already named him Sanatan after meeting him at Ramkeli. So again Chandrasekhar went out. But again he come back and said, there is no one, Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu said, you did not see anyone. He said, I saw one, but he was like a Muslim beggar. A person who is like a Muslim beggar. He had long beard, shabby clothes, torn clothes, unclean, not shaven, not bathed. So Mahaprabhu said, just get him in. And as soon as Sanatan came in and fell flat on the floor and paid obeisances to Lord Chaitanya embraced him, and there was flow of tears from the eyes of Lord Chaitanya. Seeing the austerity of Sanatana Goswami, how he escaped from the engagement of the Nawab. He came running from Ramkeli. So what he is asking is, how was, in a way, see, it's a very subtle question. How was Parīkṣit Maharaj able to recognize the transcendental personality of Śukadeva Gosvāmī? So this is the question. And now we will take the 7th verse. Please try to be in the Bhagavatam. Connect with the character and the flow of what is happening. Then it will transform us. Otherwise, it will remain where it is in the book form. Yeah, so the last verse was, how was he, Śrīla Śukadeva Gosvāmī, the son of Vyas, recognized by the citizens when he entered the city of Hastinapur, after wandering in provinces of Kuru, Jangala, appearing like a madman, dumb and retarded? So one important aspect is that never judge a devotee by his externals. We will commit grave offenses. Never ever estimate, like we have the mundane vision of seeing person by his externals. A devotee should never be judged by externals. I remember once, many years back, when I had joined new in the temple, maybe 2010 or 9. I was going to Vrindavan. I was told by our temple from the BBT to take some CDs and return to someone from where the CDs came in Vrindavan. So I took it, and I took the address and the number, and when I reached Vrindavan, I took the CD box and took it back from the person from where I received it. And that person was not an ordinary person. That was Garga Muni Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada's disciple. And in my own way, I said, Prabhuji, your CDs are not working. I have been told to return it. And he really blasted me. He really blasted me left, right, and center. He said, how dare you bring it back? I never sell to take back. I said, why you are showering me? I have just been asked to bring it back, so I am bringing it back. And then I came to know that he is no ordinary personality. He is His Holiness Garga Muni Prabhu. Srila Prabhupada called him, they are my Rup Sanatan, Brahmanand Prabhu and Garga Muni Prabhu. And in their mature age, they were residing in Vrindavan. And to meet their expenses, Garga Muni Prabhu was preparing CDs. And he took me in after showering me full and bringing me to my level, where I really begged forgiveness from him that I did not know, Prabhuji, I am very sorry. Then he took me inside his house. You could not recognize because now he was, his body had become grown. I mean, he was hefty, healthy, and he was wearing a t-shirt and a trouser, like a track suit trouser, and very long pony hairs. So I could not make out that this person could be Srila Prabhupada's disciple. And then he took me in and he showed me his altar, a small altar. In that altar, there was a deity of Srila Prabhupada. That's it, nothing else. And he said, this is my worshipable deity, Srila Prabhupada. And he said, and we are very proud that Prabhupada used us. So it is very difficult. It is impossible to know that who is on the transcendental level. Only a transcendentalist can know the other transcendentalist. A mundane person will not be able to know. A conditioned soul, a sense gratifier will never be able to know who is a transcendentalist. So see what question he is asking. Very deep question is being asked by Shaunak Rishi, that how was Parīkṣit able to recognize Śukadeva Gosvāmī in such a situation? The Prabhupada is saying a sage is not therefore recognized by sight but by hearing. One should approach a sadhu or a great sage not to see but to hear from him. If one is not prepared to hear the words of sadhu, there is no profit. Śukadeva Gosvāmī was a sadhu who could speak on the transcendental activities of the Lord. He did not satisfy the whims of ordinary citizens. I gave you the pastime of Srila Prabhupada in Kobe. Prabhupada refused to satisfy the host who wanted to gift his property. So now the next verse, the 7th verse. So this inquiry is focused. The Shaunak Rishis and his sages are asking about the speaker. Then further he is asking, kathaṁ va pāṇḍaveyasya rājarṣer muninā saha saṁvādaḥ saṁvūt tāta yatraiṣā sātvatī śrutiḥ. So now he is asking that kathaṁ sa pāṇḍaveyasya, the descendant of Pandu is Parīkṣit. Pandu's son is Arjuna. And Arjuna's son is Abhimanyu. And then thereafter, Abhimanyu's son is Parīkṣit. So, how is it that they met? Kathaṁ sa pāṇḍaveyasya rājarṣer muninā saha. And Parīkṣit is a great saintly person. He is king also and he is sage also. He is rājarṣi. And what happened? Samvādam saṁvūt tāta. There was a samvad, there was a dialogue, there was a discussion, there was an exchange between both of them. And what kind of? Yatraiṣā sātvatī śrutiḥ. This is very important. Sātvatī śrutiḥ. Satvata is something which is transcendental, and Shruti is the essence of the Vedas. This is another name for Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is what? It is Sātvatī Śruti. It is the essence of the Vedas and it is transcendental. What was the verse? Anyone remembers? We discussed that verse in the 3rd chapter. What was the verse for Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam? Please keep writing. If you really want to get into Bhagavatam, there is this very special name of Bhagavatam. What it is? It is Sātvatī Śruti. What is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam mentioned as? In the 3rd chapter, what is it mentioned as? Anyone remembers? Yes, Ramya?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. तृष्णा स्वधाम उपगते धर्म ज्ञान आदिभिः सह कलौ नष्ट दिशमेष पुराण अर्क अधुना उदित.
That is true, but here in what reference it is being said? It is sātvatī śruti, something related to this. Śruti means it is the essence of the Vedas. And sātvatī means which is transcendental. So it is saram. The verse was saram. The glorification of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam was that it is the saram. It is the essence of all the scriptures. Okay. So how did it so happen that King Parīkṣit met this great sage, making it possible for this great transcendental essence of the Vedas, Bhagavatam, to be sung by him? Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is stated here to be the essence of the Vedas. It is not an imaginary story. It is sometimes considered by unauthorized men. It is also called Śuka-saṁhitā. Another name of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, it is Śuka-saṁhitā. Or it is sātvatī śruti also, and it is Śuka-saṁhitā. Why it is Śuka-saṁhitā? Because this Samhita is coming from the lotus mouth of Śukadeva Gosvāmī. Śuka-mukhat amrit dravya samhitam. Isn't it? It is coming from the same verse. Śuka-mukhat amrit dravya samhitam. That is the Śuka-saṁhitā. The hymn spoken by Śrī Śukadeva Gosvāmī, the great liberated sage. Verse number 8. Sa go-dohana-mātraṁ hi gṛheṣu gṛha-medhinām avekṣate mahā-bhāgas tīrthī-kurvaṁs āśramam. So why there is this curiosity to know that how the meeting happened and what was the duration of the meeting? The duration of the meeting was 7 days and 7 nights. So there is great amazement, there is great astonishment for Swarnak Rishi and the sages, because the duration of stay for transcendental personality like Śukadeva Gosvāmī is mentioned here. Saha go-dohana-mātraṁ hi. Saha means for him, that is Śrīla Śukadeva Gosvāmī, how much time he would give, normally how much time he would spend, go-dohana-mātraṁ hi. It is a unit, it is a measure of time. So much time as it will take to milk a cow. How much time it takes to milk a cow? Previously there were no watches. Yeah, the unit of measure of time was go-dohana. That how much time it takes to milk the cow. Where he would stay, this is very important. A transcendental personality, he does not like to be in a place where there are gṛheṣu, gṛha-medhinām. Gṛheṣu means the householders. So a renounced person does not want to be in the house of what kind of people? gṛha-medhinām. You know what is the difference between grihastha and gṛha-medhi? All of you are aware? What is the difference between grihastha and gṛha-medhi? Yes, Madan Prabhu?
But he doesn't get attached to the family or the belongings. And gṛha-medhi is always attached.
No, that is okay, but that is still gone. What is mukhya difference? What is the main difference?
Renouncement.
In these days, today's, there is no trust between husband and wife, father and son. So they are detached. They don't care for each other. So does that qualify them to be grihastha?
No.
Then? Yes, Ravindra Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, gṛhastha, actually gṛhastha is one who all the family members are engaged in the service of the Supreme Lord.
Yeah. Grahastha is an ashram. Ashram is one who is under the guidance and supervision of a guru. And his family is centered around devotional practice and devotional service to Guru and Krishna. Then that is Grahastha ashram. So here it is being mentioned that a transcendentalist, a renounced sage like Śukadeva Gosvāmī would not stay in a place of householder for more than some minutes, only to the extent that he would not come to receive milk. Did he come to receive milk? Rather, he came to give the essence of the milk, which is the ghee of all scriptures, Shruti. So he is inquiring that how was it that he stayed for 7 days and 7 nights? And he spoke Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, whereas he is accustomed to stay only for few minutes, for few moments. So this is a amazement. This is the question, this is the query which is being asked. And then he says that, yeah, he waits only to the time, avekṣate means the waits, his waiting period is only to the extent that the cow is being milked. Why? Because such persons, what is the purpose of their coming? Not to receive milk. The renunciates or the mendicant, they do not go to the householders to receive milk. What they come? The purpose is mentioned here. That tīrthī-kurvaṁs tāta āśramam. To convert their house into a place of pilgrimage. To convert their house into ashram. He, Śukadeva Gosvāmī, was accustomed to staying at the door of a householder only long enough for a cow to be milked. And he did this just to sanctify the residence. So the purpose of coming of a renounced person or a transcendental person is to convert the place of residence to become a place of pilgrimage, to sanctify the residence. Otherwise, he has no reason to come, or should not be coming. Today we were reading one of the purports of Srila Prabhupada in our study of Bhakti Vaibhav. So Prabhupada is saying that those who are in the renounced order, a very important purport, I will share with you. I will find that purport. That if a person who is in renounced order, if he does not give transcendental knowledge to others, then he is a parasite in the society. He is a parasite who lives on the resources of others. The renounced order is meant to impart knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and to inspire those who are too much attached or in ignorance to practice devotional life. That is the only purpose. Let us see the purport. Śukadeva Gosvāmī met Emperor Parīkṣit and explained the text of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. He was not accustomed to staying at any householder's residence for more than half an hour at the time of milking the cow. He would just take alms from the fortunate householders. That was to sanctify the residence of his auspicious presence. We see in the case of Srila Sanatana Goswami also. Sanatana Goswami used to do madhukari while he was in Vraj. And everyone welcomed him. Those who are really fortunate, so such transcendentalists come and accept alms. Therefore, that was to sanctify the residence by this auspicious presence. Therefore, Śukadeva Goswami is an ideal preacher established in the transcendental position. From his activities, those who are in the renounced order of life and dedicated to the mission of preaching the message of Godhead should learn that they have no business with householders save and accept to enlighten them in transcendental knowledge. Here comes the point. I don't have to give the reference of that, what we were speaking. Prabhupada is very heavy in that purport. He's saying that they are parasites. If they just come and ask you money, or if they just come and ask you resources, without giving you this inspiration and knowledge, Prabhupada is saying that they have no business with householders. Save and accept to enlighten them in transcendental knowledge. Such asking for alms from the householder should be the purpose for sanctifying his home. So they should have that spiritual potency, that power. One who is in the renounced order of life should not be allured by the glamour of the householder's worldly positions. This is another aspect. The householders, they will be having so many material resources. So the person who is in the renounced order, Prabhupada told, when Prabhupada brought his young sannyasis to India to preach, so Prabhupada gave them a guideline, Prabhupada gave them a warning. Prabhupada said that never go close in the householders and never become envious of their family life or of their prosperity. The purpose of a person who is in renounced order is only to awaken them, is to enlighten them, to take to the purpose of human life, which they have forgotten. One who is in the renounced order of life should not be allured by the glamour of the householder's worldly position and thus become subservient to worldly men. This is another aspect. They should never become subservient to worldly men. They should always take the position of their teacher or their spiritual master. They have the responsibility is to save them from going to abominable species of life. For one who is in the renounced order of life, this is much more dangerous than drinking poison and committing suicide. There is a classic example which comes in the life of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Puri, there was another rājarṣer, Maharaj Pratap Rudra. And he was so much keen and desiring to have audience of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Mahaprabhu was not permitting him. Mahaprabhu never allowed him to come. Even many times Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and even Ramananda Roy and even others, so many times, they pleaded Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Mahaprabhu said that I will leave Puri. You cannot force me. There is a very beautiful verse. Ha hanta hanta nishkinchanasya. That one who is in the renounced order, he should not go close to those who are gṛha-medhinām. So the word here is gṛheṣu, gṛha-medhinām. To those who are the sense gratifiers and enjoyers. So this is very important. The principle comes that what should be the relationship or interaction between those who are in the renounced order and those who are in the household life. So the perfect example is being said that to the extent go-dohana-mātraṁ, only to the extent if he is a gṛha-medhi. Should not spend much time there. And should not be allured by his riches or by his resources. And Prabhupada is using the word, he should not become subservient to them. Not to appease them, but to appeal to them to wake up. We'll take one more verse. Abhimanyum sutam suta prahur-bhāgavatam. So now comes, okay, I'll ask you to tell. Tasya janma mahāścaryam karmani ca grihinina. So Abhimanyu sutam sutaha. Who is Abhimanyu sutam? The son of Abhimanyu. Who is he? Parīkṣit Maharaj. Prahur-bhāgavatam. And the introduction of Parīkṣit is, he is Bhāgavatottamaha. Bhagavat means one who is the devotee of the Lord, and Uttama means who is the topmost, or who here Prabhupada is saying he is a first class devotee of the Lord. And what is so amazing about him? The first amazement is Tasya Janma Mahāścharyam. How did Parīkṣit take birth? By the personal protection of Lord Shri Krishna. So what were his wonderful activities? Krishna says, Janma Karmacha Me Devyam. But Srila Prabhupada, Srila Rupa Goswami writes in Nectar of Devotion that it is not only for Krishna that his Janma and Karma is Divyam, all his pure devotees, their Janma and Karma is also Divyam. And here what is the Divyam? It is Āśraryam. So now inquiry has come to the hearer. First it was about the scripture, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Then it was about the speaker, that is Śrī Śukadeva Gosvāmī. Now about the hearer. It is said that Maharaj Parīkṣit was a great first-class devotee of the Lord, and that his birth and activities are all wonderful. Please tell us about him. The birth of Maharaj Parīkṣit is so wonderful because in the womb of the mother, he was protected by the personality of Godhead Shri Krishna. His activities are also wonderful because he chastised Kali, who was attempting to kill a cow. To kill cow means to end human civilization. Prabhupada's concern. Prabhupada raised it so many times, everywhere. To kill cows means to end human civilization. There is one video who is getting very viral. You know, our Prime Minister feeding the cows in his residence in Delhi. Saw it? Some very short, special breed cows. One aspect of his preparation for installing the deities or invocation of the deities in Ayodhya was to be among cows, to serve the cows, to feed the cows, and which he has been doing. Why? Because if the cows exist, then the progress for spiritual life is possible. Otherwise, it is not possible. So Prabhupada is mentioning it here. That to kill cows means to end human civilization. It will not be a human civilization. It will be what? It will be a civilization of cats and dogs, which has already happened. He wanted to protect the cow from being killed by the great representative of sin. His death is also wonderful because he got previous notice of his death, which is wonderful for any mortal being. And thus he prepared himself for passing away by sitting down on the bank of Ganges and hearing the transcendental activities of the Lord. During all the days he heard the Bhagavatam, he did not take any food or drink, nor did he sleep a moment. So everything about him is wonderful and his activities are worth hearing attentively. The eagerness is expressed herein to hear about him in detail. Hare Krishna. So I'll stop here. We'll take further tomorrow from verses 10. Any question or any discussion? Hare Krishna. Yes, Purushottam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, many times we are obliged by some gṛha-medhi, and generally we used to
You are
give.
obliged by gṛha-medhi? I mean, you please, think about your question.
Sometimes some families used to support us by some problem is there. They are supporting us, but they are non-devotee. So that means we are getting obliged. So we are used to give more time to them. So, Prabhu, my question that how can we refrain from these families, non-devotee families?
Very simple. If you be with non-devotees, what kind of sang you are taking? Asatsang. But if you have affection for them and you feel that they are good people, then what you have to do, it is your duty to take them out of the ignorance and bring them to Krishna consciousness. So that you see whether they are in this mood to hear you, to accept what you are suggesting or what you are practicing. Then you spend time with them. Otherwise, don't waste your time with them.
Yes, okay, Prabhu.
Yeah, and don't take help from non-devotees. Never take any financial help from anyone. I have told so many times. I can see the benefit of myself. In my life, I never took any financial help from anyone. Krishna has mercy. Don't get into this trap. Prabhupada writes in one of the purports, obligation is binding. Why do we need financial help? Whatever resource we have, that should be sufficient. Why do we need material resources? Does it bring us close to Krishna? Or does it take away from Krishna? That should be the criteria to decide. But of course, if you are living in a society, you cannot live alone. There will be neighbors, there will be relatives. But we should know the principle. Many times we see our practicing devotees. What is there? There is some shadi in the family. Shadi in the family, go just the same day, na? What is there need to go 4 days before and spend 4 days after that? So what are you doing there? You are spoiling your sadhana. What else are you doing? And in those days, you will not be able to follow any regulation. If you don't go, the sadhi will stop. No, but there is a desire to enjoy. Where there is the need? Just 2 days back, on 26th of January, I went to my parents' place to change the dress of Lord Jagannath. So my mother told me that her younger sister has come from Australia. She is getting her son married on 4th year in Chandigarh. So I told her, what do you expect? That I will go to Chandigarh? So she started laughing. No, I have already told them that it is not possible. So will the marriage stop? I told them that if they want, when they come to Delhi, they can bring the young couple. I will take them to the altar and offer, puja for them. So they will receive spiritual benefit. That they don't want. They're not interested in any spiritual benefit. So why should I waste my time with them? Got the point? You have to be intelligent. See, the point is, our conditioning is so heavy that in the garb of occasion or opportunity, we indulge in sense gratification. That should not be the case. Then the change will not come. Then the detachment will not come. So here it is being said that very important is go-dohana-mātraṁ. I was very much amazed to see. He's not saying it for grahastha ashram, for gṛha-medhinām. So those who are gṛha-medhi, he remained only to the extent of half an hour, only to enlighten them. And if they accept, and if they are, many people call me, but I don't go if I tell them that what I have told you, if you have done that, then call me. Otherwise, why you are wasting my time and your time? I never go to any householder's place for taking prasad. What potency do I have to go and purify them? Are they changing? Are they giving up their sense gratification? If not, why? There is no reason. Prabhupada is mentioning here. So in our living, we should see, even our relatives, all of them are non-devotees. Do we have any devotee relative? And do they accept our advice? They are so much, rigid about their own lifestyle. They know the benefit that we are getting, but still they don't accept. So why we want to waste our time? You live in Vrindavan, people have to come, call them to Vrindavan. They'll get some spiritual benefit. You get my point?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Yes.
simple. You have to be very clear what you do. Your conviction has to be within the self. If you are convinced, you can make the world convinced. If you are not convinced, then you will be convinced by the worldly people. and your worldly way of living will not change. Okay. Be intelligent. You can, I have told so many of my students that go late and come early. Simple. If you feel that you don't want to spoil the relationship, no one stops you. You go late and be the first to come. And don't dine and eat there. Otherwise, we will be behaving like them only, enjoying sense gratifiers. Hare Krishna. So I'm stopping here. It is getting late. We'll discuss tomorrow. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Śrīla Gopal Bhatt Goswāmī Avirbhāv Tithi Mahamotsav ki jai. Śrīla रामचंद्र कबीराज तिरुभाव तिथि महामहोत्सव की जय. निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी. हरि हरि बोल. जय श्री प्रभु. Can I speak to you? Please call me.